Welcome to the Mythic Tavern, and today I'm going to be talking about my review of Dragonflight Mythic Plus Season 3 and what I thought about it, what rating I got, and things of that nature. So, I ended up with 2,799 rating, or basically 2,800, which is actually the highest rating I ever gotten, and wow, I didn't really take Mythic Plus seriously, I guess, until that specific season or whatnot. Previously, I would just do it for achievements or for like mount and title rewards. And yeah, but this time around that I wanted to push myself, so yeah, and I also wanted to play something else. I normally play a warrior tank. I decided not to tank anymore and maybe do something different. So I went back to a hunter that I haven't played since Wrath of the Lich King. And oh boy, did hunters change a lot. Of course, I went with Beat Mastery Hunter, and it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a learning experience. I had to, level them up. I had to get gear and all that good stuff, but it was a lot of fun, and it definitely pushed me to my limits, and I think I've gotten to a new skill level, and hopefully maybe next season I'll try to go for 3,000, but unfortunately, I was thinking about hitting 3k in Season 3, but I didn't really enjoy it that much to push that far. First of all, I think Season 3 wasn't really that good, mostly because of the dungeon selection. The only dungeon that I really enjoyed running over and over again, surprisingly, I know this might be kind of a controversial thing, is Rise of the Tides, or Throne of Tides, sorry, Throne of the Tides, which I, for some odd reason, thought was a lot of fun, and when it came out, it was pretty shit, it had that horrible section with a bunch of elementals, that one hallway you guys know and love, that is a complete pug destroyer. But yeah, but over time, Blizzard eventually kind of fixed it and made it a lot easier and whatnot. But for some reason, that dungeon was just a lot of fun to run as a BM hunter. You could just do a lot of damage, and the pulls would be really big, and it was just addicting. And on top of that, there were also a lot of upgrades in there for me, so it kind of made sense. And of course, if there's a lot of upgrades for me, I will run over and over the dungeon again until I get what I need. And for those who are curious, I did achieve 2,000 plus rating on both characters, the warrior and the tank and the Beast Mastery Hunter. But on Beast Mastery Hunter, I went to about 2,800. On the warrior, I think I hit like 2,200, something like that, maybe a little bit less than that. And yeah, I just didn't want to, tank anything else really in Season 3. Another dungeon that I kind of liked, but also at the same time started to despise, was Rise of Merzond. I think we all know why. I don't know what it is. People on the first fight, or the tier fight I should say, just completely decide to go toaster brain or potato brain and just completely fuck that up. I don't really understand why. Tier is not really that difficult of a fight. Plus, the ads in the beginning are also pretty nasty, especially that lizard that pulls people into the send thingy and you have to go into the melee range to interrupt it. Yeah, there's a lot of things like that kill pugs. But the dungeon itself is interesting. However, the map navigation in the dungeon and the portal rooms and the teleports are very confusing, and it was just poorly designed. And on top of that, there's way too much RP, both in Rise and what's the other one, Galakrond as well. Galakrond was very easy and very fun to run as a DPS. Probably one of my favorite things to run as a DPS was definitely that dungeon. There's just so many big damage numbers, it's pretty cool, and it's also easy to time. And I like dungeons that are easy to time because it's a lot less stressful. But I think that is most people as well. Another dungeon that I really enjoyed running was Atal. It was pretty good, except for the change that they did with Yamsma. That was just not needed. I don't know why they did it, for what purpose. It was fine the way it was, but whatever. I feel like that change completely ruined that dungeon, but it is what it is. And for the rest of the dungeons, I think they're complete shit. I really didn't enjoy Blackrook Hold. I did like Dark Heart Ticket, it was alright. But yeah, Blackrook Hold I didn't like, and I don't really remember what the other dungeons were, but whatever they weren't fun. So, yeah. I don't know, man, I just felt like my favorite dungeon selection was probably in Season 2. I really liked Brackenhide Hollow. I really enjoyed running that. So, yeah, Uldaman was awesome. I really like the new Dragonflight dungeons, with the exception of probably not the Academy, but the Azure Vault. I think Azure Vault was absolutely horrible. Season 1 was also terrible. Mist of Pandaria Dungeon, Jade Temple was a complete utter ass. And yeah, it was just not fun. And of course, Court of Stars was kind of easy, but kind of not easy at the same time, because of the way that dungeon is just simply designed with the weird, NPCs things that you have to click on to make the second boss lose the elites or whatever, so you can actually fight it. I don't know, it was just kind of weird design for a dungeon that's in Mythic Plus, but whatever. Anyway, as far as Season 3 goes, if I was gonna rate this on a scale from 1 to 10, it depends who you're playing as well. If you're playing as a tank, or if you're playing as a healer, or a DPS, and depending on what class you play too, and the spec of the class, your opinion is gonna vary. For a Beast Mastery Hunter, there were probably a lot of dungeons that had a lot of cool AoE pulls and things like that. But yeah, I just think some of the balancing stuff was off, and they needed to really do a lot of tweaking, specifically with the new Mythic only dungeons. You know, the time ones, Rise and Galakrond. That needed a lot of tweaking. Throne of the Tides needed a lot of tweaking. So there were some things that were kind of, off. And if they were well balanced from the beginning, I think it would have been a way better season. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just thought it was okay. The rewards were alright. I mean, you just get the green armored looking beast thing, and yeah, it looks cool, but it's just a different color, and that's about it. I don't know, man. I feel like Season 2 of Dragonflight was more enjoyable in terms of the dungeons that it had. And for me, the most important thing are the dungeons that are in the rotation. And rotation in Season 3, I don't think was that good. And neither was Season 1. Season 2, I would say, probably was the best. Season 3 is going to be actually... not Season 3, sorry. Season 4 is going to be actually all 8 new Dragonflight dungeons. So Uldaman, Azure Vault, Alcazar Academy... Ruby Life Pulls, Nakud, or whatnot. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun to actually redo all those dungeons. I cannot wait to run Uldaman again. I know some people don't like it, but I love Uldaman. I think it's the best dungeon in the entire expansion. That's just me. I like it from the lore standpoint, from the design standpoint, from the boss fights, to the layouts and the mobs that you get to kill. So yeah, as far as the loot goes, I don't really care what loot is in the dungeon. Well, I mean, I do when it's, when I need it, but when I'm doing dungeons for a timed run and to achieve rating, my whole thing is based off completely different things. So, yeah. So that is my opinion of Season 3. I would probably say on a scale from 1 to 10, it's probably like a 6.5 for me, maybe a 7. I don't know, man. I'd say it's probably like a 6.5. Waycrest Manor was there, so that was good, I guess. I'll give it a 7. Because of Waycrest, Atal, which were decent dungeons, or good dungeons, I should say. And of course, what was the one that I really liked running? The Throne of the Tides. So because of those 3 dungeons, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. That's in my favor, but the rest of the dungeons were kind of doo-doo. So, yeah. But you know what? It was a memorable season for me, because I did push myself to new limits. So that was kind of cool. I'm hoping to probably hit 3k in Season 4. We'll see how it goes and see how fun it is and see the balance of it. So I'm excited and I'm looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, what was your guys' rating, you would say, for Season 3? Did you enjoy Season 3 in Dragonflight? What was your favorite season so far? And what are you looking forward to in Season 4? Let me know in the comments. I am very good at replying back. I always reply back to everybody. And yeah, until then, I will see you in the next video. Peace out and have a good one.